This is a hat trick
podcast.
Oh, lovely.
Welcome to In the News This Week, the podcast from some of the team who've worked on Have I Got News For You?
I'm Emerald Paston.
I'm Mike Rayment.
I'm Queenie Miller.
And I'm Jack Harris.
We'll be taking you through the big and not so big stories in the news this week when the TV show can't. Think of it like this. If the TV show is the White House Doge team, then we're the Reform Party's Doge team.
Are we calling ourselves that? Yeah. Are we doing down the Reform Doge team too quickly?
It's Dumb and Dumber, and we're dumber.
Okay, yeah.
And we're back.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, really nice to be back.
Jack, it's nice to have you back in the UK.
Yeah, it's funny. This is the first one I've done in a while back in the UK, which is nice.
Nice that you made it out.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, made it out in one piece. Nice to wake up and read the UK papers and see what's going on there.
And a lot is happening in the news right now. Not least, the M&S website has resumed online orders, which is big news.
Yeah, good for you, Jack.
Wait, hold on.
Get all your T-shirts.
Wait, how long has that been? Because my mum told me about that about 6 weeks ago. Or is that like a recent? Has it happened again?
No, it's been going on since then.
They stopped orders 6 weeks ago. Now they've restarted.
What? They haven't been able to take orders in 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Why?
A cyber attack.
How difficult
This is actually big news for Jack.
That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
So I guess speaking of all these big news stories, how do you guys deal with that on the TV show?
When we come back for a new series?
Yeah.
We have someone on constantly, so there's always someone like manning the lighthouse and checking the news. And you do accumulate a lot of funny stuff that you think, oh, we'll definitely talk about this. This will be hilarious. And then you get to show week and it's like, oh no.
It's been surpassed by a million stupider things.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't there a thing about Michael Gove getting stuck in a toilet that we were obsessed with? I don't know if we ever got it out, but I think it might have happened in an in-between of series.
So you say you don't know if he ever got out?
Yeah. He's still
Haven't
there
heard
now.
from him in a while.
Yeah.
So I noticed that after a break in the series, the show often uses a game as a device to mop up a bunch of stories. So I've got one for you now. And that game is Going Well or Going to Hell.
Incredible.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to give you a group or an individual, and I want you to tell me if things are currently going well for them or going to hell for them. Are you guys ready for this? Do you understand the rules?
Loud and clear.
Are they stuck down a well or are they going to hell? That's the...
No, Jack, you've
Okay,
misunderstood
cool.
there.
Right.
Here's your first one. Pensioners.
Ah.
When has it not been going well for pensioners? I'll ask you.
Quite a lot of them are going to hell soon.
That's true.
Just the ones who voted for Brexit.
It's going well for pensioners at the moment, and it's going terribly for Labour
Yeah.
with this epic
Spending review.
fail.
I think they'll get away with it, though. I think people will just remember the fact they're getting money. Like, I know everyone says, like, they should have gone for it in the first place, and then people will have, they'll remember the fact they didn't get it that winter. I think they'll probably get away with it. And as, the pensions minister pointed out, Torsten Bell, last week, no one actually died, apparently, because of the cut in winter allowance. He said he pointed out there are actually fewer deaths than normal last winter, which you think...
What?
Said the government spokesperson.
Wait, people came back to life because of it?
Yeah. That was when they were defending why they still had the cuts. So this is like
Right.
pre-U-turn. And then obviously U-turn happened and they were like, hey, guess what? We found loads of money.
Yeah.
Like, the economy's turned around a corner, presumably like the same corner they backed themselves into when they cut the winter fuel payment in the first place, right?
So they're back to where they started.
Yeah, basically.
I love that we've gotten a nice, tidy, very silly ending to what was an immediate clusterfuck for where Labour was positioning themselves when they got into power. They were like, we're going to be the fiscally responsible ones and we're going to set everything straight and we're going to make hard decisions. And they chose the worst possible group to target, who aren't, young people in more central areas. They chose the guys in Hertfordshire to take away their money.
The one group that definitely will vote no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
It winds me up no end. I just think
What, pensioners?
oh my God, don't get me started. I just wish that politicians just said, you know what, these people vote and so we're just going to do policies for them. Rather than dressing it up about, we really care about old people now. It's like, no, you just realise they weren't going to vote for you. And like everything is set up. The means payment is under 35k, right?
Yeah.
35k is quite high.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
Like there's loads of families in the UK that aren't able to get funding for that, right?
Yeah.
Kevin Badenoch, she had some harsh words for Keir Starmer. She said that the U-turn was humiliating, and she said that she repeatedly warned him to reverse his callous decision, and every time he arrogantly dismissed me. Which I recognise the tone in that. That's the tone I use when I'm on the train and it's running late. I start composing emails to the train company. And that's the exact vibe of my emails. And I always delete them.
Keir Starmer probably cares about it as much as a train company would care about your email.
You're so right.
She called Reform another socialist party. What's going on with her?
Yeah.
I don't think they think anyone's listening anymore.
Everyone's completely checked out from the Tories. It's pretty brutal. I don't even know if there's a way back for them.
You don't want to see how the government said they're going to pay for the winter fuel payment.
Have they said?
Are they going to go back to Saudi Arabia and embarrassingly beg for more money while ignoring human rights issues?
Yeah. Hopefully get a free plane that they can sell off to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
No, they said all will be revealed in the autumn budget. So you think, oh, nice.
No
cool.
way.
Just kick it down
Just
the
a
can.
little teaser trailer for
like
fucking the
film.
economy again.
I love the way
Right.
they've basically gone to the same approach as Doctor Who. Hey, wait and see. You're not going to believe what's going to happen next series. I think Labour's big mistake is calling it a spending review. I think spending review just sounds so boring and so depressing. Like spending review to me is like, that's what happens in my household when my wife realises I've ordered too much Warhammer. We have to sit down and have a spending review.
So every week.
Just call it something like they should just call it like Rachel Reeves' Big Bonanza giveaway. Like that. Just make it sound fun.
It was Gordon Brown who came up with the term, didn't it?
Yeah.
Was it Gordon Brown? I think, which makes total sense, right?
It does.
He's like, a spending review. I was
Yeah.
a Scottish accent. Terrible.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Fun fact, me and Gordon Brown were born in the same hospital.
That's a really fun fact.
It was really fun, yeah.
Sorry, there's way too much emphasis on the word fun.
About as fun as the fact that he came up with the term spending review, I think, as well.
Okay, we're moving on to the next category.
Yeah.
Going to hell or going well? The police.
Or which country are we talking?
The British police.
Going to hell in general?
Yeah. It's all going to hell for them because all the money they were going to get or they needed to actually do any policing and stop people stealing from Greggs, which they don't seem able to do, it's going to pensioners. It's basically going to shoveled into this, like, let's try and make ourselves electable again, Labour spending review. But apparently it's caused a big row between Yvette Cooper and Rachel Reeves. I read that The Guardian reported that disagreements between Cooper and Rachel Reeves have, much like the pensioners, become incredibly heated.
It's like Batman
good.
versus Superman. The crash of the century.
The Telegraph said that she was on resignation watch, which you think, okay, that's quite, like, that's how heated it got.
Is that the new
Okay.
like Spring Watch
I'm so tuned into that.
with Chris Packham?
It's just they'd set up some infrared cameras at the House of Commons, see who's crawling about at night.
Well, the thing you got to remember is there is one thing that's definitely keeping her at work, and that's the fact she's married to her balls, right? So you think she's not going to go home. In reality, him just banging on about his podcast.
It shows she has a massive capacity for punishment and misery. If she can stay married to her balls, she's not going to resign.
Going well or going to hell? Greta Thunberg.
I mean, I'd argue it's going well.
Well, in that she's not been unalived.
Yeah, well, exactly. Thank you for using the TikTok censored version of that.
Yeah, so with it, Mike.
But I think she got her point across. If, in case anyone didn't know, Greta Thunberg was one of the 12 humanitarians delivering or trying to deliver some aid to Gaza.
Yeah.
It was a UK registered vessel in international waters.
So it's
and then
never going to
Israel-
get there.
Yeah, basically Israel went, oh no, don't do that. And she's been deported from Israel, even though she wasn't there in the first place. But yeah.
Israel called it a selfie yacht because, in their words, it was carrying less than a single truckload of aid. And you think, yeah,
How
but
many
it is-
truckloads of aid have they let into Gaza, though?
And
You know
also,
what I
it's
mean?
not coming with a side of IDF bullets.
Yeah.
People bandy about like privilege and entitlement too much, but that is the very definition of white privilege and entitlement right there, because you got Palestinians getting shot for turning up at aid trucks just begging for a loaf of bread, and she's turned up on a boat having been told not to go and made it very clear. And what they've done is they've taken her off the boat, given her some food, shown her a movie, and then given her a free flight home. So actually she's pretty lucky, really, compared to the majority of what's going on over there.
But in a good move from her, she made it very clear that her treatment wasn't anywhere near as bad as the as a Palestinian.
Did she? Yeah.
Yeah. It's the first thing she said when they asked her.
Did you hear what Donald Trump said about her? He said, I think she has to go to anger management class. That's my primary recommendation for her. But that's interesting coming from him because his idea of anger management is to throw loads of troops at the issue.
He was the first world leader to call it a kidnapping.
Really?
Yeah, he said, I think Israel has enough problems without kidnapping Greta Thunberg. Wow. He's all over the place.
For our last going well or going to hell, Ed Miliband.
Oh, he's had a little treat this week.
He has.
It's because he's the favourite for the role in the live-action Wallace and Gromit film they're doing.
So it's going well for Ed because he's had this nuclear power station signed off in the spending review.
This nuclear power station,
Yeah.
Sizewell C. Now, Mike, you can tell me if this is me just getting like older, because I'm going to go to your expertise.
I beg your... Hang on, back up a minute.
Wow.
No, hold on.
Just asking our resident pensioner.
You've got the wrong end of the stick, my friend. You got the wrong end of the stick.
Of Gromit Clade.
No, you
Okay,
phrased
fine.
that weird, Jack.
What I am saying is that I need to know your expertise as a sort of grime fan, which I would count them, doesn't make you an old person.
Okay.
Is that Sizewell C to me sounds like
Yes.
a grime artist.
Oh my God.
I heard that and all I could hear, Sizewell C.
Yeah, I mean, very similar to Central C, current drill artist
There
of
we
the day.
go. That's what it was.
Sizewell C. It does. Surely is only a matter of time before someone takes that.
That's Ed Miliband's rap name.
Yeah.
Talking about spitting fire and great lyrics.
Okay, now you've lost it, mate.
Yeah.
You lost it, mate.
Sorry.
You've gone down in my estimation.
Did you see Keir Starmer's exciting new slogan he rolled out for this?
Is it 3 words with full stops in between? Because I can't do another one of those.
I could say it hasn't got full stops in between, but it is 3 words.
Oh my God.
For the nuclear power?
It's related to nuclear power and it's to do
Live,
with...
laugh, love.
Live, laugh, meltdown. It's no more dithering.
No, that's not true.
That's actually
Oh my
official.
God.
That's not true.
That sounds like Alan Partridge's motto. Do you know what I mean? That's
Now, Mike,
terrible.
is this your version of fake news that you've been said?
He's
No more dithering. What are you talking about?
He said it. So it's like this whole idea that Labour are now going to seize the moment and rejuvenate the country, and they're going to build nuclear power plants, and they're going to heat up our pensioners till they're nice and toasty. No more dithering.
Chuck them in the nuclear power plant.
Yeah.
Jobs are good in.
It does feel like a slogan aimed at old people.
So true.
It just sounds like you want people to walk faster on pavements.
Which I'm not against.
Hold on a
be
second.
honest.
If that was the policy, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Welcome back to In the News This Week. It's time for round 2 now, where you've each brought a news story from the past week that you think would be perfect for round 2 of the TV show. Queenie, you're up first. What have you got for us?
I'm really excited about this one. It's a bit of fun.
Yay.
The headline is, nearly 200-year-old condom with erotic painting goes on display at Dutch Museum. Has anyone heard of this?
I have.
I saw the picture.
The tagline to this is, since the artefact was put on display, the museum has been packed with people, both young and old.
Condoms for everyone.
Essentially, this mint condition, as it's described, condom, has been put up for display at Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam.
Didn't realise it was flavoured as well.
Well, it's made of a sheep's appendix. Has anyone ever used one of those?
I've never tried that one.
Emerald's quite a nice joke, just turned absolutely horrendous as we're like, oh, okay, inside of a sheep flavour from mint to sheep
I
guts.
skipped over that joke because it wasn't Randy. I was like, I didn't even register.
No, it was lovely going straight into the... No, the reality is this is what it would taste like.
Sheep cuts.
It's a sheep's appendix. Sorry. But the erotic print shows a nun and 3 clergymen. Get it, girl? It's
Wait, hold on a second. Whoa.
Well,
on the condom, there's a print?
there's a painting on the condom. Was I not clear from the title?
Well, I thought it came with a painting,
No.
so it was like
It's
as an
on
aid, like a nudie painting. Like, put this on, look at this, then you're away.
Like, at least that would be an honest reason for someone to have like an XL condom, because they're like, I actually need to do a painting on it. It's not because I'm trying to show off. It's just I need the biggest canvas possible. Do we know what the function of the painting on it is? Was that a thing back in the day?
Well, in my head, it's something that like Marina Abramovich would have as an art piece. But the inscription "Voilà mon choix," meaning there That's my choice. Makes the print a parody of both celibacy and the judgment of Paris from Greek mythology. It's got everything, basically.
Wow.
Wow.
A literary condom.
Yeah.
What would you guys paint on a condom?
Sorry, I didn't expect that.
Is anyone...
Great question.
You've not thought about this? Really? You've never been asked this?
Go faster stripes. So I look like I'm putting in more effort than I am.
Is it vertical or horizontal that makes you look broader or longer? Or
It depends whether you want to look broader or longer.
because I would want it to be as short and squat as possible.
Well, if I was feeling confident, maybe I'd put like a user survey. So you can like how happy are you from 1 to 10? Any notes, any comments? Yeah, and then leave it in the box when you're done.
That's really nice.
Do you ever used to do that when you were younger with like notes and you used to fold the Queen's face and it looked funny when you put, and then you could sort of like open it up and it would be the full face. If you had one of those on the condom as it's sort of like it's slowly revealed.
Or like people that can make their tattoos dance. You could do something like that.
Yeah.
With the condom.
Or like that thing you used to pass around in school where it was like someone draws the head and you fold the paper over and someone draws the like body, someone draws the legs.
I'm really glad
Remember that?
you finished that sentence.
But yeah, I like the basic me and Jack went for how can we make our penises look better? And you guys have gone for how can we be entertained during this really mediocre sex? That's it.
Yeah.
That is the gender divide right there.
Wow.
Thank you for that story, Queenie.
Excellent.
That was a thrilling story.
Yeah, I love that.
Jack, you're up next. What have you got for us?
So mine is about Ed the zebra. I don't know if you saw this. This was a zebra that was loose in Tennessee. And I'm going to be honest, the reason I was drawn to it was because of the photo. Now, if you're listening to this, and Mike, Emerald and Queenie, I'd like you to just Google Ed the zebra, because essentially there's a picture of him where he's being captured. He's being airlifted by a helicopter and he's in a net and his head is poking out the top.
Oh my God.
He knows he's in trouble. And it arrived at its new home because you can have a pet zebra in Tennessee. It's allowed. You don't need a license for it.
Sure.
It arrived in its new home and less than 24 hours later it escaped. And then it was
Wow.
on the loose for a week. The police have been chasing it down for a whole week.
Was it like hiding from people by just lying down on the road and letting people walk over it?
Very good.
There was just random like videos of it galloping down a road, knocking about in the woods.
Knocking about, what, like a teenager, like
Yeah, basically.
had a roll-up cigarette and like a bottle of White Lightning.
Yeah, found a condom that he then drew on. As well. But luckily, I mean, it got captured by the local police, which is interesting because luckily for the zebra, it's both black and white. So
Well done.
the officers were very confused, but they did not shoot it. So
They just shot very specific areas.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the kind of articles point out that it is legal to own a zebra in Tennessee. But what I want to do a quick quiz. I'm going to ask you, what is legal to have as a pet in Tennessee without a permit?
Oh God. I'm going to go on a whim and quickly say everything is legal.
Let's wait and see.
I'm glad you specified to
Yeah, would it not
animals so
be-
we don't have to just be like marrying your cousin,
Yeah.
marrying your mum.
We're not getting into the depths of Tennessean law. I'm calling it you or zoo,
Yeah.
as in you own it or the zoo owns it.
Okay.
Lukewarm response. I love it.
It rhymes.
Whoa, hold on. What are you drinking, Emerald? What was that? Is you drinking a WKD Blue?
No, the cup is blue.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
It's the only way to get through you or zoo.
You or zoo. Have you got your alcoholic drinks ready?
Hang on, sorry, let me just get my belt out.
Okay, you or zoo. First one. Is it legal to have a kangaroo as a pet in Tennessee?
Yes.
No. They can disembowel you.
They can, but Tennessee don't care because you can own one without a permit. What about a camel?
Yes, yes.
No, I'm going to say no because they're Arabic.
Oh,
So
travel ban.
Yeah, Trump's banned them.
Well, these ones have been naturalised, so they are allowed.
They're US
so
citizens.
We're going to go with that. Yes, it is legal to have a camel. What about a giraffe? Is it legal to have a giraffe in Tennessee without a permit if you had it as a pet?
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
legal.
I feel like we're getting the vibe of these
Yeah.
lawmakers.
Is it legal to have a hamster in Tennessee without a permit?
I mean, no.
Because that one's normal, I'm thinking no.
It's got to be allowed.
Yeah, obviously it's allowed. That'd be insane.
Oh, okay.
Give the Americans some credit, guys. What is wrong with you? Of
I
course
love
you can
that.
have a hamster without a permit.
Amazing.
The things you can't have is you can't have like an elephant and you can't have a tiger. There you go.
Oh.
I mean, there's other things, but we'll go with that.
That's
You or
basic,
zoo?
yeah.
That was a
The
great
nation's
quiz.
new favourite game.
Thank you for that quiz, Jack. I loved it.
Thank you.
Every answer was the same, but I loved it. Mike,
A little bit awkward.
what's your round 2 story?
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. Mine's a llama that was on the run in Kentucky, and I've also done a... No, I'm joking. It's not. Mine is the news that hell is finally freezing over,
Oh, wow.
which I'm taking slight liberties with. Okay, it's an exaggeration, but the gate to hell might be closing. Do you guys have any idea where the gate to hell is?
Is it in the States somewhere?
Is it Turkey?
Not the States, closer with Turkey. It's got a Turk in the name.
Turkmenistan.
Turkmenistan.
Oh.
It's the gates of hell. It's been open since the 1980s, presumably for a Margaret Thatcher state visit. And basically what it is because obviously Turkmenistan was part of the Soviet Union. It's a bit woolly, as with a lot of things the Russians don't want us to know about. But basically, I think Soviet engineers were trying to extract gas and basically set fire to this massive crater called the Daravaza crater. And basically, it's been burning since the 80s, and now it's on the verge of going out. So it's big news. And it's become a huge tourist attraction in Turkmenistan, to the point where it's number 1 on the Turkmenistan TripAdvisor list of places to go.
Way.
No, that's good. But what's number 2, Mike?
I'm so glad you asked, Jack. Genuinely, that's my question.
I don't
That's
care
my-
about Gates of Hell, mate. I don't care what's number 1. I want to know what's number 2.
Can I say very quickly, I did go on TripAdvisor to check this, and there's some great reviews, including someone who said, the roads there are treacherous and covered in potholes. 4.5 hours later, you're there, and yep, it's a burning hole in the ground. I wouldn't go back. Number 2 is not that exciting. It's an ancient fortress in Nissa, which sounds quite good. Please, if you can guess what
Cultural
number 3 is.
significance. Boo.
Okay, yeah. Number 3, I'll give you a clue. It's a museum. It's a very niche museum.
Of old condoms.
Ooh.
It's things that are rolled up.
Cigarettes?
Carpets.
Queenie Miller. It's the Turkmen Carpet
I'm
Museum,
clapping myself.
Wow.
which
Yeah.
Keir Starmer famously visited and described as a bit high octane.
Very good.
And there's some great reviews of that as well, including someone who said, we hired a guide who insisted on telling us all about the carpets, which was a bit much. I don't know what they went there
Why
for.
go? Hey, sorry. Just to defend the Turkmenistani Carpet Museum, why go to a carpet museum and then ask the tour guide and then be disappointed that he's telling you about
what
carpets?
else are you going to
Yeah,
get?
I know what you. I wonder if people from
Come on.
Turkmenistan come over here and go to DFS and are like, whoa.
Do you think DFS is a museum? I have something for my bucket list now, which is to visit the gates of hell before they freeze over.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Carpet Museum, Queenie. Gutted.
Finally, it's time for round 3, the missing words round. So I'm going to read out some headlines from the past week, and all you need to do is fill in the missing words. So your first headline is, vegetarians are more what than meat eaters?
Likely to tell you about it.
Nice. Pathetic, coming from a vegetarian.
Queenie.
Yeah,
Likely to sail a flotilla to the Gaza Strip.
that's a big win.
Okay, the answer is vegetarians are more power hungry than meat eaters. So a survey has found that vegetarians on average have a greater desire to wield power than their meat eating counterparts. So Queenie, as our resident vegan, what do you think
Yeah.
about
Well, as a case study of one, I think that's probably true.
that? Really?
I love power.
This was a professor at SWPS University in Warsaw. What does he suspect is behind this personality trait in vegetarians? Why does he think they're like this?
Well, I'd be intrigued to know which vegetarian hurt him in his life, because I don't understand why you'd be putting like research money into this otherwise.
Yeah.
Is it because they want people to follow their route of being a vegetarian? Like, you're a bit more likely to kind of take a stand as being a vegetarian, right?
True. You got an opinion.
Boy, do they have an opinion.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You're close, but he thinks it reveals how vegetarians in Western societies have historically felt like a besieged minority.
Oh God. So they're victim blaming themselves.
Yeah.
They're like,
He's saying you've had to be tough. To maintain a vegetarian diet, a certain psychological toughness might be required.
Like pretending that it's enjoyable.
Pretty much. We posted this missing word round on our social media channels. So congratulations to Alto Cicchini, I'm going to say it in an Italian accent, on Instagram, who made us laugh with their response when they said vegetarians are more likely to invade Poland than meat eaters.
Pretty much fits the missing word.
Did this survey just was exclusively done in Austria?
Great. So our next missing word headline is school in Essex is forced to keep pupils indoors because of what?
Dog in the playground.
Visiting reform politicians.
Same thing. Dog in the playground.
Ed the zebra on the loose.
Oh, you guys are on the right tracks. So they're forced to keep pupils indoors because of a dive-bombing buzzard. So this is a buzzard that has been indiscriminately attacking villagers in Havering at Bower, and the pupils have named her Brenda the buzzard. The way the story has been written about, it sounds like a really amazing horror monster movie. So
the birds too.
The head teacher said, when you see her perched outside, it's lovely. You think, what a beautiful bird. But when you're outside and you hear that squawk, you don't have much time. You know she's coming down.
Oh!
Thank you for listening to In the News this week. If you've enjoyed this episode, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
For updates on the show, make sure you're following Have I Got News For You on Instagram, TikTok and Twitter.
You can also get in touch with us by emailing podcasts@hattrick.com. That's hattrick with 2 T's.
Make sure you're followed or subscribed to the podcast wherever you're listening to it now, and we'll see you here for next week's episode.
Bye.
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 Haven't said that in a while.
I haven't missed it.
Thanks, Mike.
In the News this week is presented by Jack Harris, Queenie Miller, Emerald Paston and Mike Rayment. The producer is Diggory Waite. The executive producer is Claire Broughton. And the music is by Big George. In the News this week is a Hat Trick podcast.